Imagine being told that the idea you believed in with everything you had was the worst idea someone had ever heard. Not just bad. Not just risky. The worst. Ever. That's exactly what happened to one man. And that idea he was told to throw away? It went on to become one of the most beloved superheroes the world has ever seen. This is the true story of how Spider-Man was almost never born, and the quiet, stubborn courage of the man who refused to let it die. His name was Stan Lee. And by the time this story takes place, he had already helped create some of the biggest names in comic book history. The Fantastic Four. Possibly the X-Men. He admitted he couldn't even remember the order anymore, that's how fast things were moving. He was on a roll. He was good at this. And he knew it. But his publisher wanted more. Stan, he said, I want another superhero. Simple enough request. Stan went home, sat down, and started thinking. Because when your publisher asks you for something, you deliver. That's just how it works when you want to keep your job. Now here's the thing about Stan Lee, he always started with the same question. Not who is this hero? Not where do they come from? But what can they do? Because he believed that once you had the power, everything else would follow naturally. So he sat there, thinking, searching. And then, he saw a fly. Just an ordinary fly. Crawling slowly across his wall. Most people would have ignored it. Maybe swatted it. But Stan Lee watched it, and something clicked inside him. That fly was moving in a way nothing else could. Sticking to a surface that should have been impossible to hold on to. Defying gravity like it was nothing. What if a superhero could do that? The idea lit him up from the inside. He could feel it, that rare electricity that tells a creative person they found something real. He needed a name next. He ran through the options out loud. Flyman no. Mosquito Man definitely not. And then it came to him. Spider-Man. He said it once. Then again. It had weight to it. Drama. It felt like something that could be printed on a cover and make a kid stop walking and stare. He had his power. He had his name. But Stan, being Stan, decided to take it one step further. He was going to give this hero problems. Real ones. The kind that keep you up at night. The kind that make you feel like the world is against you even when you're trying your best. Because Stan understood something that a lot of storytellers forget. People don't connect with perfection. They connect with struggle. They connect with someone who looks like they might not make it. And then came the final piece. Stan decided Spider-Man would be a teenager. Not a grown man with a square jaw and a perfect life. A kid. Awkward, overwhelmed, still figuring everything out, but somehow also responsible for saving the world. He was proud of this idea. Genuinely proud. And so he walked into his publisher's office, heart full, ready to share it. What came next stopped him cold. His publisher looked at him and said, and these words clearly stayed with Stan for the rest of his life, Stan, that is the worst idea I have ever heard. And then, like a man dismantling something piece by piece, he explained exactly why. People hate spiders. You cannot name a hero after something people hate. Teenagers are sidekicks, they are never the main character. And personal problems? Superheroes don't have personal problems. That's the whole point of a superhero. They're above all that. Stan walked out of that office quiet. Deflated. The kind of silence that follows when someone you respect tears down something you love. But here's where the story turns. He couldn't let it go. Spider-Man lived in his head, uninvited and stubborn, refusing to be forgotten. And then, almost by accident, a door opened. There was a magazine called Amazing Fantasy. It was dying. Sales were terrible, and the decision had been made to cancel it. The last issue was heading to press, and nobody cared anymore what went into it. When a magazine is already dead, there's no pressure. There's no risk. There's nothing left to lose. So Stan put Spider-Man in. He featured him on the cover, sent it to print, and then walked away. He had done what he could. Whatever happened next was out of his hands. He waited. 1 month passed. And then the sales figures came back. His publisher came running, into Stan's office, barely able to contain himself. And with the kind of confidence that only comes from completely forgetting you ever said the opposite, he announced, Stan. You remember that character we both loved so much? Spider-Man? Let's make him a series. Stan Lee smiled. And said nothing about what had come before. Because he had won. Not with anger. Not with arguments. But with patience, belief, and one final act of quiet courage, slipping his idea into a dying magazine and trusting that the world would see what he saw. And here is what Stan wanted you to take from all of this. If you have an idea that feels true to you, something that lives in your chest and won't leave no matter how many times you try to push it away, protect it. Not every idea is gold, he was honest about that. Judgment still matters. But the ones that mean something to you, the ones you'd be proud of even if nobody else ever understood them, those deserve a fighting chance. Do your thing. Give it everything you have. Because one day, the same person who told you it was impossible might come running back to tell you it was their idea all along. And you'll smile. And say nothing. Because the work will have already spoken for itself.